Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Big Benedict, the Underworld Abyss. The first thing I'm gonna mention is, why the fuck do they put a store right to the left when you have zero money? I mean, good luck trying to buy something with zero money right there. You can't even go back. Such shit. And by the way, that is the only store on this chapter. So don't even worry about grinding for money here. Just do essence chains, because I thought, in my ignorance of not playing this game for a long time, I just assumed that the game would be considerate enough to give you a store, prior to Alexei, but they don't even give you a store. So the thing is, you have to not use any items in this stage until you get to Alexei, the boss fight. Now, that might seem really difficult, but it's highly possible, especially when you're chaining essence attacks with the Endless Fang. And the checkpoints in this level are pretty fair, more fair than usual, for this game that we're looking at right here. So, I fucking hate these guys, dude. These guys are so fast. Just chain attacks. This room's pretty tough too, but you will get a checkpoint afterwards. So we got the marionette demons, and then on either side of this room coming up, we have chainsaw bazooka zombies. So get this guy out of the way. If you have to throw your piercing void to get him out of the way promptly, right there, I was fortunate that he did. If that kick that he did right a moment ago connected with me, I would have been a dead bitch right there. So execute this guy if you can, or whatever, and then just start really quickly at chaining attacks. Indisputably, this weapon is the best weapon for dealing with this section and the previous section, because it has a ton of range. And the semi-nice thing about this part is that the chainsaw bazooka zombies on the other side, you see those two guys? Normally, if you're just staying on this side, they'll just pretty much ignore you, or if they try to shoot you, their cannonballs just won't get over to you all the way. So again, no store whatsoever, so don't even worry about collecting all your money, because it's not, you can't buy anything. It's just horrible. So to compensate for that and to make things a little easier for yourself, make sure that by the way, here, I was so stubborn here, I was refusing to use any healing items, because I knew I would get some health regeneration for beating this fight, and I knew that there was a checkpoint coming up. So watch out for these guys here. This is the last little stand before you get a checkpoint. So I'm busting out the Howling Cannon to target these guys, possibly to delim them to the point where they lose their gun, but that always doesn't happen. And then it is nice to get a check. It's really nice to get a checkpoint. And the reason I was saying a moment ago to possibly avoid using your Nimpo attack is because if you're like me and you hate the Tengu brothers, we have Tengu brothers again, and it's a really difficult fight because it's just on this little narrow hallway area here. So you do get a checkpoint, which is really nice. So if you charge right about right there, you can get a WT on that melee ninja. And now on story mode here, I wouldn't be absorbing essence. I would be collecting essence after all these UT charges, because I would want my money to carry over into the final chapter. But here, there's no incentive to saving up money because there's no shop. It's actually really fucking stupid. They could have redesigned. I mean, they could have repositioned that store. If it was at the very end of the level, that would be so nice. But this game's not nice. This game's gonna shit all over you and then fuck you up the ass. Excuse my profanity. I'm sorry, I don't swear that consistently on guides and stuff. But that just when I saw that, when I got to the end of this level and I realized there was no store and I had used a bunch of items, and I knew that I would have to restart this chapter because I had used a lot of items, just assuming that I would be racking up a lot of money, and going to a theoretical store that just never came, pissed me off to no end, really just no end. So the Tengu brothers, it's a very tough fight, but you can minimize the difficulty by using all of your voids, because after I mean, a save for the Tengu brothers fight. And by the way, switch here when you know the last enemy's killed. You don't want to keep switching your loadout every time. So after you defeat these guys and you potentially waste all of your Ninpo, there's really no reason to use Ninpo for the rest of the level, and it doesn't even matter because you will get all your Ninpo back in drops. There's a box that has Ninpo. The best idea to do here, and I don't think I implemented it, was there I did it right there. It's really ideal to at least try to target these Tengu brothers instead of blind firing. You want to try to target these guys and try to hit both at one time. That will stretch out your Ninpo and give you the best results for your buck. These guys are, it's pretty tough, but it is nice knowing that there is a checkpoint to fall back on. And here is me being extremely stubborn yet again, knowing there is a health drop there, absolutely refusing to use any healing items because I want to take as many healing items as I can into the boss fight here. So the charges of the Endless Fang, provided you get red charges, coupled with the piercing void, it makes that fight really manageable, even though the setup's really bad in this narrow corridor here. So no checkpoint over here, but I'm using the Endless Fang, and pretty much at every fight before the save point, it's pretty much ideal to use the Endless Fang. Just use the Endless Fang every time before you get to the save point. And a word of caution before the save point is when I was playing this game on story mode one time, I got to the save point and I didn't save it. I just left my controller down thinking it would just always, it wouldn't dim on me. But that save point, it will dim if you don't get over there promptly. So, not promptly, but you need to just get over there and save it real quick, because if you just go over there and let it dim, you won't be able to save it, and then you may die and have to do go back to all the way to the checkpoint. So it actually did dim there for me. That was only because I forgot there was a melee ninja lurking around. I didn't even know he was around anywhere, but promptly save it. The second you get a chance, go ahead and save it, because it's going to dim right after again, and we're going to have to be dealing with melee ninjas, mages, and red ninjas. And I gotta say, the red ninjas are really more aggressive. I'm actually really glad that they are like that, because it provides me with a bit more challenge. They seem to hit a lot more and do the gleaming blade more. So here I'm just going to town with Gleaming Blade UTs, having a bit of fun here. I actually really enjoy this part here because I know there's a save point to fall back on. Plus, when you clear the battle, you can save it. But absolutely, do not use any healing items here. It's just a waste. Just get your health drops. If you have any Ninpo left, use the Ninpo to possibly get some health drops if you need health. And just take care of the mages. Once the mages are gone, it's pretty much a cakewalk, because try to get did I get a beheading on that guy? No, but you can really do good counters, do Azuna drops. I can't tell you how well the Azuna drops work in this game. And then in Razor's Edge, like, everybody either resists it or the controls don't work. And part of me thinks that it's mainly the controls that don't work. It's not the enemies resisting it. It's because they can't program a good game. Even though Razor's Edge is a good game as a whole, but it's got a lot of issues. And anyway, that was a pretty cool move. I'm not sure how. Maybe I got a Azuna drop off that parry. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think so, but got several beheadings there, and you are going to get a chance to save it. Then we'll be recording our progress, then going over to another area. So it is, if you're just spamming attacks, it's not that difficult, and there's no real reason to use healing items anyway. You're going to get a little regeneration of your health back, and you can save it. And then we're going to go over to the chest and manipulate the two chests a little bit if you need to. There's not even real need to manipulate the chest either. But this was the final guy right here, so we're going to slam him home. Takes a couple of Azuna drops sometimes, but you always know they're dead when you get that little splash right there. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here, and traditionally I would manipulate these chests to make them give me money drops, but it's really not even necessary, since any money we collect is just going to go down the drain. It's just going to disappear on us. So just kill everything here. The main thing to do is just try not to get damaged too much here. It's so bad of a decision. Like, why do they put they put one? It's just like in chapter 15 where they put the store at the beginning of the chapter, but at least in that chapter they put a subsequent store somewhere. In this chapter, it's like fuck me, but more specifically, fuck this game. You know, I really like this chapter, but that decision to put only one store, you know, if you could backtrack, it would be a different story. Okay, so anyway, now we're heading down here. This level always reminds me of Contra, like Contra 4. I would love to do a guide for Contra 4, but I don't have a DS or a way to record it. Maybe I could figure that out someday, but I love Contra. Anyway, these enemy sacks right here, I'm going to be showing you every sack that has enemies. It never varies, so it's always the same. The enemies are always going to burst out of the same sack, so it's just a matter of you memorizing what's going on. It takes 3 shots to burst a sack, so stay back here and fire 3. You'll see the animation when the arrow hits home there, and then once the enemies break out, just do a charge. I think there are 4 sacks that have enemies. There's also a sack that has a Shadow Ninja Reietsu, but I'm going to be showing you a way to unspawn that guy. So anyway, down here, just do executions. There's no real reason to. We're not even trying to grind for money here. So over to the right, there is a Devil's Way mushroom which you want to pick up and burst this sack here. Any sack that I just go up to and hit, that's because I know there's not enemies in them. There's going to be one time when I do it just because I want to use Nimpo. But hit this sack right here, and there's 2 times when we're going to be sliding down a hill here. So hit this first sack here, right, and then fall back, and then break this sack over here, and then back into the wall right here. And if you have to, aim in and fire 3 shots, or however many it takes you to burst the sack. And then once you see the enemies come flying out of there, charge up your attack here. There's just red ninjas here, and then in the next sack we're going to have ninjas plus just 1 melee ninja, so it's not that bad. So there's just this final guy. I was reading the manual for this book and actually learned a good tip. If you see an enemy doing an unblockable attack, use shurikens. And that probably sounds obvious to a lot of people, but I just didn't know that a shuriken could cancel out an unblockable attack. Pretty cool. Cool stuff, definitely. So once you slide down here, it's going to be the first sack that's going to be having enemies in it. So you need to back up against this wall right here, fire 3 shots into it, and then we're going to have 3 guys, or is it just 2? Yeah, it looks like 2 and 1, plus the melee ninja. So there's actually one more sack that has more enemies. So after you clear these enemies, you're going to want to go up to 2 of the sacks and then burst those, and then it will be the next one after that has the enemies. So hit this sack right here, then go up to the next one and hit it, and then just be aware that this next sack has enemies going to be bursting out of it. So I'm just going to drop Nimpo. I knew it had enemies in there, but I just wanted to use Nimpo since I knew we were going to be getting some Nimpo later on anyway. I think I even got a Nimpo drop, so that just canceled out what I did. So burst every sack here, even up to the last one, which contains a Shadow Ninja Reietsu, and don't even fight that guy. He's not going to give you any money. He'll just give you health, but all you need to do is to unspawn this guy, follow in my footsteps. Go over here to the left to this area over here to where this cave is. Jump over here. Boom, he's gone. I discovered that quite by accident last time, and it's perfect. He just disappears. It's one of the nice things about this level that you can really manipulate. So here is the save point right here. Okay, so now we're coming up on the LXI boss fight. There's no items over behind the save point, but there are some orbs over here that replenish your key flames, and they don't actually fill. They only give you 3, so that's why I use 1 right there to get my maximum number. There is a chest over here, and I was kind of debating whether to get it, but I decided, what the hell, it's just, I thought it would be money, or I was pretty sure it would be either money or bats, and then we have a corpse over here that contains a herb of spiritual life, so definitely grab that. This guy is every time I play this guy, he's so fucking easy. Like, he's always such a challenge on chapter 4, but this time around, I'm using the dual blades. All I'm doing is using the triangle move. He's got a pretty damaging grab that'll pretty much... Actually, I think it does kill you. Yeah, it kills you. What am I thinking? This is Master Ninja mode. But he doesn't need... He's not even that as grab happy as he was before. He's got no new moves. He's got the same old tricks up his sleeve. You just got to evade when he comes in with his twirl, his little whirlwind dash across the screen. Just dash away, then dash over to him. And then normally he either he's really slow to hit, or he takes a little bit of recovery time. He's kind of dazed, and he does that kind of slow punch, just like Zidonius does actually. And then you could do a bunch of triangle attacks. I mean, look at all these triangle attacks. I did. There was one time when I threw the void and it hit Sonya, and I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?" And then I realized she's killable. So maybe we'll kill her with the shotgun in the next chapter. But this is it's pretty goddamn easy. I mean, we're all maxed out. We completed the chapter. We got a lot of points right there, and we got the Master Ninja ranking. So one more stage to go, you guys. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you in Chapter 17. Thanks, everybody.